Stinks in here. Stinks of old TV engineers. Less of the old. Right. This could be the shortest video ever. Because normally before I do a video, I check the fault. But I haven't on this. I've just been told it doesn't come on. Now, in today's market, that could mean a few things. It could mean it doesn't come on. There's a few scuffs and buffs to the screen, but nothing that won't clean out, I don't think. Anyway, just going to switch off the main light. I don't think that's going to affect your visibility too much. Let's see if we get a red light there. Oh, we don't. Unless it came on without me knowing. Did it come on without me knowing? No. Oh. Oh. We have got a red light. Can you see it there? The TV must have been on. It's now... well, I don't know. Probably it's on now. I can't get it to go to standby, but I think in the menu of this LG, I think you can switch the standby light off. So let me pretend that that is now standby, and the light should be on, because when I turn it on using the buttons here, it does flash. Yes. Now I'm going to do that again. Pay attention to the screen. Around here, do you see an LG logo? Very faint. Let's have a look. I think I've got it in standby. Switch it on. Yes, it was there. I did. So the TV is coming on. I'm going to switch it off again. And obviously in the menu, they've got the standby light off. So just look for a logo here. Switch on. There. There it was, very faint. I'll put my main lights on and see if that makes that better for looking at the... oh, I doubt it very much, Captain. But I'll try. One more time. Do that to me one more time. No. Right. It's a shame we've got a few scuffs and buffs here. Might be able to clean that out, I don't know. Okay. Well, once again, we've got a backlight job. Let's inspect, shall we? Let's inspect. Let's see. In fact, let's have a biscuit. And a cup of tea. Coffee. I bought one of these coffee machines. I'm addicted to them. I've not made what you call a normal instant cup of coffee for 6 months, probably longer. I do love coffee. Please send me free cups of coffee. Right. Screwdrivers are out, the usual suspects. Putting my chocolate biscuit there, that's the most important thing. Anybody got a cup for my screws? So if it's the usual 32 due F1, isn't it? ln32ln575 due F1. If that's the usual screen inside here, then it will have 3 rows of LEDs, 7 LEDs on each strip. I think I'm doing this from memory. Pretty impressed. But sometimes LG do use different screens. I don't think I've ever seen one in the 32-inch version, but maybe I'm just about to. Let's take this off. Oof, it's... Oh! Oh no, it is. I thought, for 1 second there, I thought we'd got a different panel. No. LC320 due SFR1. That's what I said, isn't it? Probably not. I like to turn it around the other way. The correct way. Should I put that there for protection purposes? Don't know what it is I'll be protecting. Here we go. What did I say? 3 strips of 7. 1, 2, 3. Ooh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the reason I went ooh is because this has been repaired before. And I think it's been repaired by me. Do you know, sometimes you can recognise your handiwork. I don't know why I'm thinking it is me. Or one's been... Going back to the early days, when we had backlight issues, if I can just point out, it's that one there. That's been replaced. Just that one. I'm trying to look, see if any others have been replaced. But that one's been replaced. You can tell sometimes. And that's just what I was going to do in this video. I was just going to replace the one. Anyway, let's have a look and see if the one that I put in, whenever it was, backlight tester on. That's what I'm looking for. Excuse me while I have a slurp of coffee. So 714, 21 backlights. Oh, I said there's just going to be one backlight out. The fact that I've repaired this before. Anyway, let's check. Did I unplug the LEDs? I did. Switch lights off. Let's just check if the one that I repaired, which is there, let's just check if it's still working. Did I do a good job? I did. I don't know if you can see, but that one is still working. But several others. Well, that is okay. That is okay. And that is okay. So, I just wanted to do something different, and I was going to solder on individually. Do you know what I'm going to do that's different? No, what are you going to do that's different? Because the top 2 tiers are working, I'm going to do this. I got loads of these left over. When I first started doing TV repairs, and it was obviously that it was backlights, I bought from China loads of these. And they really helped in the early days when I was learning the trade. Because in those days I couldn't afford. Backlights were very expensive 4 or 5 years ago. I couldn't afford to replace whole strips. So I use these. And I've still got hundreds and hundreds left. And they're fine. They're individual ones. You break them off, look. So I need one more. This one's from a different patch. I'm just checking that these are 3 volt. What does it say on my meter? 3 volts, yes. I know the rest are 3 volts. Now, let me get rid of this strip. It's not necessarily going to look pretty. But it will function, and it's safe, and it's fine. And it will get the TV working. Now you're probably wondering, why am I putting the reflector sheet back on? I just need to mark out, shall we use a red pen? I need to mark out where the individual LEDs need to go. So I just go inside the circles there, just roughly. There's no art to this. I'm only doing this to be different. Oh, that's amazing. There's no sticky pads on the... Right, so I've got to get some double-sided tape. No, you get some double-sided tape. There we go. Put a little bit of double-sided tape down. It feels... it now feels like I'm so lazy, I'm not getting scissors, I'm cutting double-sided tape with my electric cutters. Right, peel off top side of double-sided tape. Sorry, it feels like when I was putting the double-sided tape and explaining what I'm doing, it felt like I was auditioning for a Blue Peter role. I'm going to have to cut that plug off, which I don't like doing. But I'm going to cut it off. I don't care. Right, so I'm going to put these. That one will have to go a bit slanted because of the grooves. Get into the groove. That one can go a bit... They all can go a bit slanted. Doesn't make any difference. Right. It's usually about now I put the soldering iron on to gas mark 5. That's the only one that's going to be sticking up a bit. Oh, I've got a sticky one. I've got a sticky one. Can you see what I'm doing? So, I mean, I've got plenty of backlights for this in my box of plenty. This might get some thumbs down. Yes. So I'm going to put a dab of solder. We'll individually light them up to make sure they all work. Let me switch off again so you can see. So backlight number 1. Yes. Number 2. Yes. Number 3. Yes. Number 4. Yes. Right. So you can see it's no longer one strip. They're cut into bits. I didn't cut them into bits. I bought them ready cut. As I say, this was going back years when I couldn't afford full sets. I used to make them up, and these were really cheap, and they did the job. I remember doing, actually it was one of these TVs, but not the smart version. I did a whole one of these TVs with the individual ones, soldered it all up, sold it, put a year's warranty on it, it never came back. So the quality on these, this particular type of backlight is used in Philips. Now the only difference is here, is these may be a slightly different colour to the top two, slightly. But unless you're watching a movie which is just covered in snow, the Winter Olympics, unless you're watching the Winter Olympics where the picture is 95% white, you wouldn't really notice. Excuse me, I'm drinking my coffee. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to bore you with the soldering. I'm going to solder these up. I am going to have to snip off the wire. There's a part of me that doesn't like doing that. But hey, you know, one day somebody will have to pull the plug on me, so I'm going to pull the plug on that. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I wish you would. I'm going to run another line of double-sided tape right underneath. I'm going to run it there, 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 and there. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Now, can you guess what I'm... I've gone back into Blue Peter mode. Can you guess, children, why I've done that? Yes, you can. Because that is going to be my common return. Who are you calling common? So I'm going to get a big piece, a long piece. That's almost long enough. Ooh, almost long enough. That's going to be long enough. I'll show you what I'm going to do, and then I'll do it. I won't bore you with the filming of somebody soldering. So can you see where that double-sided tape is? I am going to put the common return, just in case you don't understand, to each one of these, positive and negative. You can see positive on the top, negative on the bottom, la-di-da, la-di-da, and there we go. We have positive on the top, which is the white lead, and then the common return is the black. So this black will link with the black that's fed there, and the white will solder onto there to be the positive. Are you paying attention? But rather than have, I can snip that about there. rather than have just wires messily all over the place. You won't see it anyway because, oh, that's a good point. Let's see if that all fits. Nowhere near. Look at these three. Way out. How did I get so way out? So let me juggle with these a bit. That's fine. It's not way out, really, but it's out. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That just wants to go. So they're fine. These actually, the new ones I'm putting in the bottom, look better than the old ones. Not that a customer or anyone's going to be looking at that. Just from my selfish point of view. Right, I'm going to solder it up and have a cup of tea, then go for a run for 15 miles and I'll be right back. Sorry, we had 3 LEDs gone on the strip. I could have put a new strip in. I'm not selling this TV. It will probably go to... It may even go to my grandson, so I'm obviously making sure that it's safe. And this way is very safe. Don't forget, we're dealing with very low current, very low voltage here. I mean, the voltage, each one of these is 3 volts. These are the 3 volt 1 watt type, which is why I checked earlier, because I've got some of these which are 6 volts as well. And if you mix them up, you get problems. So this strip was fine, this strip was fine, this had 3 gone. So I've used the individual LEDs, which you can buy, I think they come, well, I used to buy them from China, but you can probably buy them from Asda these days. And I've put them in place, soldered them up, heat shrinked the negative together, so it's all nice and safe. And I'm going to put, just to make sure that everyone is okay and in its place, and it is. So, oh, I've still got some coffee. Hang on a second. Got to have my coffee. Oh, I love this coffee. I'm going to plug the LEDs in to the power board. I don't know why I struggle plugging those. I always struggle plugging those back in. It's a bit like USBs and HDMIs. You can never, well, I can never just put them in first time. With USBs sometimes, and HDMIs, it takes me half an hour. Very frustrating. That's how useless I am. These are not taken from a... Well, they are taken from a strip. They are cut up, but they are brand new. They are not used. Anyway, so now, if I plug the mains lead in... And don't forget, once again, I am working on an isolated transformer. Everything is isolated. There's the original strip. Let's switch it on, see what happens. Nothing went bang. There you go. I'm sorry, you're going to get... I think it's settled down now. On the screen sometimes you will get the fluctuation. Does the bottom set look any different than the top 2 sets? I mean, it should do. Because they're completely different backlights. But it's not going to be widely noticeable. So now it's going to give us a chance to test the to actually test the screen. Sorry, I've lost something. You can tell I've lost something. There it is. I wanted my little clip. This is the one clip that holds up the screen. And I'm just going to put that in there. So let's start putting the diffusers on. You probably start to see some lines, don't panic. The lines aren't there. Well, I'm having a look at that. Obviously, you can see some fluctuation and some lines. I cannot see any difference, and I mean any difference, top, middle or bottom. I would have thought the bottom would have been either slightly darker, slightly brighter. Or maybe a slightly different colour. But it isn't. It's all fine. Right. So, let's put... I'm really fed up with this microphone. It's not staying in place. That's the bezel back on. Always nice to stick these, always easy I should say, to stick these back on. I'm just going to connect the LVDS cables up, the old ribbons. At all times, showing it a great amount of respect. Right, there you go. Let's switch it back on. Do we get the LG logo, or is the screen gone for? No, it's on, it's fine. Right. Ooh, that was strange. What was that? That was a white raster. Is it on analog? Yes. Didn't realise these were analog as well. But obviously they are. Which is still good. It's nice that analog televisions are still around, because it helps people that want to send a Sky feed through an aerial cable to a different room. But in saying that, HDMI boxes are getting splitters and boosters are getting cheap. I'm going to give the screen a good clean with the bezel off, because then I can get into the corners and the tops and the bottoms, as you know. I've spoke about this in previous videos. The only thing you have to be careful with... Oh, there is a mark there. Is it coming off? It is. I'm having to use fine fingernail. Oh, that's going to be... Okay. I've got most of it off. Very gentle along the bottom. This is the dirtiest, gunkiest bit. Make sure I don't snag any of the screen tabs, because if I do, I will then go outside and cry like a baby, because there's nothing you can do then. Unless you know someone with a wonderful tab machine that can put them back on, and I don't. And if you're watching this and you do that sort of thing, please do get in contact. Oh, if you do that sort of thing in the UK. I don't think there's anybody in the UK doing it. Right. That screen has come up really well. I was worried there's a mark there, and I think that is a scratch. Very tiny one. Let me just massage. Yeah, there's a little. I mean, you're going to expect it in screens that are... How old is this TV? I'm going to guess that this is a 2013 TV, which is 7 years. It'll say on the back... What did I say? October 2013. It's the 32ln575V, if you need to know. But we've done loads of these before. But obviously every time I do one, I like to try and make them all different. These have to go back in and back on. Well, actually, I lied. They don't have to. You can put the TV together without these going on. They don't. Their only practical is holding the screen in, and they do it well. They're not plastic. They do a good job. Anyway, let me eat this chocolate bar and then put it all back together, which will take me all of 5 minutes. And we'll see how it looks. May even be getting out the posh cleaner in a second. I've already got the very posh foam screen cleaner, but I have another screen cleaner which smells... Sorry, microphone again. I have to tape this microphone to my gob or swallow it. Right. I have a remote control somewhere. I have a remote control here. It's got no batteries in. Have I got one with batteries in? There's one here. One of these LGs will do the job. That one's got batteries in. Oh, that one's got Duracells in. That's nice. That means it'll be covered in gunk in a couple of months. Just going to turn the top set of lights off. Sorry, I've just realised that this video has gone on 40 minutes. Heavens above. Right, so picture is back. Oh, I'll tell you what I could do. I could get... We'll save that for the next one. Settle down. Look at that. Backlight 100. Absolutely no need for it. There's no need for me to turn it down now, but I am going to do. Color temperature is all wrong. I'm going to reset it in a second anyway. Too much on the cold side. But the tint is perfect. Right. Well, let's just go to the input. I'm a bit confused why it's on antenna. That must be in the settings somewhere then. There's program mode, antenna, yes. I no longer have an aerial connection in here. But I just want to see, am I forgetting something? Why have I got analog? Why? What am I not doing? I'm going to go to auto tuning. And see if that recognises it as... Yeah, digital. So it's now gone black. Okay. I've got no aerial, so that should stay black now. Yes, yes, yes. And it does. Interesting. Right, two things I want to do. Actually, back in the settings, I want to switch that on, don't I? Because I think the red light has been switched off. So let's just have a look. Standby light off. Let's put that on. Because that did confuse me earlier. So now when I switch it off, we should get a red standby, and we do. Switch it on. Right, okay. LG are usually pretty good with their apps. It's 2020, and I don't think they've messed around. I don't think they've... Like somebody said recently, they've taken off Amazon. Let's try and select Amazon and see what happens. Oh yes, I do need to configure it. Start connection, wired, wired, and that's it. Thank you. Oh, do you have to press start connection? Wired network, oh, connecting. I didn't let it connect. We are connected. Jolly good. Oh, I thought it had gone. It's changed to Prime Video, so it's updated itself. That was quick. So let me just see if it does actually go into Amazon. So it's not lost Amazon then. Yes, it has lost Amazon. Okay, okay. Goodbye, Amazon. They are starting to go, these things. I'm sure YouTube is still there. Using it signed out. Just going to search for HD video, just to test the picture quality. I just want to see if you can tell. So far, I can't tell any difference with these cheap Chinese backlights I've put in. And when I say cheap, I don't mean cheap and nasty. They're just, let's use the word cost-effective showing. We'll look for 4K video. Not that it'll make any difference on an HD picture, but it'll just give us a nice picture. This is the song I've been singing all day. That's why. Being used on a commercial at the moment. Shall I skip ad? Obviously you're not going to get the best picture. If I switch my lights on here, that's going to... No, get off. But it's there, it's done it, it's working, it's nice, there's sound. It's a smart TV. This will still have Netflix, it will still have the iPlayer for now. How long for, I don't know. But it's up and running again. I haven't got a stand for this, but I think it's going to go on the grandson's wall. Be interesting to see how long it lasts before the other sets of backlights go. The bottom set, I bet you the bottom set lasts. The new set I've put in. Let's just check what the backlight setting is now we've gone on to the smart services. Doesn't let you. No, doesn't let you change the settings. Oh, I always thought it did. I'm obviously thinking of something else. Can't change the settings. I mean, I have to say, looking at it here, that is a really nice picture. I am biased, but I have to say it looks slightly clearer at the bottom than the top, but that's got nothing to do really with the backlights I've put in. But I imagine the bottom set of backlights will last 2-3 years. The middle set and the top set that I didn't change, well, who knows? Could go next week. Could carry on for another 2-3 years. Now I've turned the backlights down, they should be fine. Anyway, this has been a 50-minute video. It may be a bit less by the time I've finished editing it. But I just thought I'd do something different. Just using parts that I already got in the workshop that I could scrounge, even though I had got a full set for this. Just thought I'd do something different. And it's working, and it's another nice, smart 32-inch TV. We look at 32-inch TVs these days, don't we, as being portable almost. We class them as portable. But when I was a man, a young man, 32-inch TV, wow, if you'd got a 32-inch TV, you'd got something. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful time.